Hello, hello, kids and parents. We're back. We are in the section where we are talking about where you get your food from. In the section before this, we talked about where food comes from. It comes from the earth, it comes from nature, from what the wild, from plants and animals. You can grow it yourself. Your neighbor can grow it for you, local farms, or you can get it from large industrial farm operations. Lots of what we see in the grocery store is that. In this section, we're talking about where you actually go to get your food. First, of course, you can grow it yourself. We always want to start there. We always want to think about growing it ourselves first. And then we can think about our neighbor growing it. So the local farmers growing it. Here in this section, we're going to talk about local farmers markets. Now, we talked about this already in one of the other lessons, and a lot of you already know what farmers markets are, but basically, it's a little store that's popped up, usually around a park, sometimes just in a parking lot. Wherever a city might have space, they oftentimes will pop up these farmers markets. I live in the Los Angeles area, and we have six, I think, farmers markets in my very, very local area every week. So we have one on Mondays at, one in one area at one park. On Thursdays, we have another one downtown, in another area of town, and there's I think six here in my very small little area of Los Angeles. Up in Santa Monica, they have a huge farmers market up there. All over town, there's just hundreds and hundreds of farmers markets. So I wanted to just give you here a little bit of an idea of what they look like, and what you can experience when you go to a farmer's market. We went over this before in one of the other lessons as well, but here I wanted to give you actual resources as to how to find farmers markets in your area. So a little bit of a history about farmers markets. In the year 2000, so this is 2025, 25 years ago, in between 2000 and 19, there were only 2000 markets in 1994. So that was about 30 years ago, right? About 30 years ago. Now, the statistics tell us that in 2022, about 3 years ago, there's 8,600 farmers markets. So we went from 2,000 30 years ago to 8,600 now, and there's probably more now in 2025. So, anyways, it's growing. Farmers markets are growing, and they're popping up all over the country in all kinds of different cities, big cities like Los Angeles, like where I'm at, and small cities. This is kind of the next iteration, or the next logical thing from farm stands, right? So you have your farm, and then you have your farm stand where the farmer would sell the fruits and vegetables. This is just where a lot of different farmers and a lot of different producers get together and sell their goods. At farmers markets, you'll find, of course, fresh produce, so fruits and vegetables, but you'll also find all kinds of other things now, like honey is a big one that you'll see. A lot of people make candles, a lot of the homesteading activities that we talked about in our homesteading lesson. A lot of those kind of DIY, do it yourself, arts and crafts you'll see at these farmers markets. Some of the more sophisticated farmers markets that we have out here in LA, you'll see all kinds of artisans there. You might see some clothes, some organic cotton clothing, or you might see all kinds of different things. A lot of the local restaurants might come out and bring food trucks or hot food booths. You see things like corn on the cob, smoothie stations. I've seen all kinds of guacamole stations, or various spreads and dips or syrups, all kinds of different things. So farmers markets are a really fun place to go. Kids love them. They can run around and check out all the different things. A lot of the vendors will have free samples and things like that. So here in this slide, I just want to give you some resources where you can go to find farmers markets near you. So ams.usda.gov is a government website for it's called the Agricultural Marketing Service, and they have lists of farmers markets. cdfa.ca.gov in California. That's the certified farmers markets by county. You can search by county. California Farmers Market Association.com also has lists that you can search for farmers markets in your area. Farmersmarketplaces.com and localharvest.com. These are the best ones that I found so far for searching out the farmers markets that are near you. So check it out. They're really fun. There are these weekly pop-up markets. 60% of farmers markets are year round, but the main season for farmers markets is between April and October, because spring and summer are big growing seasons. 72% of counties in the United States have at least one farmers market. So even though you may have to drive a little bit, you'll be able to find a farmers market near you. Like I said, it's more than just fruits and veggies. It can be a little bit more expensive sometimes, but also sometimes it can be a little cheaper. It depends on what you're buying. You can budget around $20 for about 10 pounds of fresh produce, which is a really good deal. Um, there's a couple other websites that I list here for you: don'twastethecrumbs.com and Farmers Market Budget Info. And that gives you a lot of info on how much you'll spend at farmers markets. So you know what you're getting when you go to farmers markets. You can talk to the growers themselves. You know, if you don't want pesticides on your fruits and vegetables, you can verify that there are none. All these kinds of things. It's a really fun day. It's really fun to go out there. And every time I go to a farmer's market and I come home with a bag of fresh produce straight from the farmers, straight from the growers, it makes me feel really good about the whole day, because I know that I supported my local farmers. I know that I got a healthy product, and I'm excited to make food for my family with it. And I hope that you guys feel the same way too. So check out some of these resources, find farmers markets near you. This is one of the ways that this is one of the places where you get your food. So you can grow it yourself. You can get it from your neighbor who grows it on their local farm, or you can go to farmers markets and get it. As you can see, we're kind of going down the spectrum from the most natural, which is growing it yourself, to your neighbor growing it, to going to the farmers markets where all the neighbors come together and sell their wares. And next, we're going to be talking about a relatively new area of online delivery for food. And that's really exciting. It used to be very small, and now it's gotten really big. So we're going to go over that in a second. So meet me over there. Okay? I'll see you in the next lesson.